Hey there. Now, if you couldn't tell already, it is raining out, and I love the sound of rain. Rain is a pretty beautiful thing. It makes a really nice sound when it falls and hits the surface of things. It's pretty light rain right now. It was a little bit harder earlier. It was also thundering earlier, but no, it's not. It's pretty safe now. I'm just under a tree here. But anyways, rain is a beautiful thing. In fact, without rain, there would be almost no life, or life would be very difficult, if not impossible, at the very least. Even for humans, if rain ceased to exist, humans might go extinct, possibly, or maybe not quite, but I don't really know. However, it is pretty essential for a lot of life as we know it. But with that, it kind of leads into my question for the video, and is life really all that preferable to no life? What I mean by that is a universe with some form of life in it automatically, objectively preferable to a universe without life? Let's put it this way. Say you could somehow look at existence from an outside perspective. And let's say there were two different universes. One universe happened to have some sort of life existing inside of it, and the other universe being pretty much identical except for the fact that does not have life in it. Would you prefer one universe over the other, or would you deem one universe to be preferable over the other? And if so, which one? Now, of course, most people that I know of would probably say that yes, of course, one of the universes are more preferable than the other, and that universe is the one with life, because life is preferable to no life. If it's better for life to exist than it is for life not to exist. Pretty simple. But I beg to differ. I don't think there is an objective way to say that life is definitely preferable to no life. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that no life is preferable to life. I'm saying there is no objective way to tell that either one is preferable to the other. I'm saying that the universe with life is probably pretty much objectively the same in terms of value and everything like that than the universe without life. Like, what aspect of life makes it better than not having it? Like, I mean, sure, yeah, it's complex, way more complex and even interesting than non-life for the most part, but what part of complexity makes it good and what part of simplicity makes it bad? In fact, in a lot of cases, there are pros and cons to both simplicity and complexity. So I don't think complexity is really a case for life when it comes to being objectively preferable to not life. And then, of course, when it comes to interesting, is it interesting? Well, it's only interesting to life. Life is only interesting to life. It's that simple. If there is no life, then it's not interesting at all. And that's that. It requires life to be interesting. Like, in order for life to be interesting, it requires life to exist. So I don't think interest is a good, strong, objective case for life being preferable either. Now, if you really think about it, the universe as a whole has really no use for life at all. It doesn't need life, just like it doesn't really need anything else like stars or meteors or planets or anything like that. It doesn't need life. So there really isn't there's no use for it. Like, what's so good about life for the universe or for existence as a whole? There isn't an end goal or anything for the universe or for existence or for anything. In fact, there's hardly even an end goal for life, although, that is debatable. But, it's not really all that debatable that the universe, does not really have an end goal. Or at least, not as we understand it. So, yeah, and even if it did, there's no way to tell that life is even part of that end goal. So, just something to think about. Now, we in general are kind of conditioned to have an attachment to life, an emotional, mental, and physical attachment to life. We ourselves are life. We are surrounded by life. We make friends with life. This is life. It may not be an animal, but it's life nonetheless. Pretty much anywhere we go on Earth is inhabited by some form of life. At the very least, again, we are the life that inhabits that part of the Earth at that point. So we are kind of inclined to like life to a certain extent, and we are basically conditioned to prefer life over to no life. But does that make it objectively better that life is better than no life? I don't think so. I don't think you can ever look at a universe that has life and a universe that does not have life, and say that the one with life is objectively better than the one without life, even if they are, especially if they are identical in all other aspects outside of the life issue. But yeah, and of course, the difference with that is if you can objectively claim that, the highest quantity of different things you have in life is better than any lower quantity. In that case, anything is preferable to having it than not having it. But I don't necessarily think that's the case. I don't see how you can make the case for that claim at the time, but if you can, let me know in the comments. But other than that, I don't see how you can justify life specifically, just like I can't see how you can justify stars specifically, at least not without having some sort of, subjective or arbitrary reason behind it, other than that you personally, like the relationships that life provides. But anyways, I'm not trying to be any sort of pessimistic person about this. I'm just, stating what I think is true, that there is no objective way to say that life is objectively, again, preferable to no life. I'm not saying that, again, I'm not saying that no life is better than life. I'm saying that neither of the two are preferable over the other. I hope I made that clear. But anyways, I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching either way, and yeah, let me know in the comments whether you agree, disagree, your justifications if you do disagree, and things like that. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.